And we are live. What's going on, everybody? For those of you tuning in later, we will get to the cards pretty quickly. So that way you don't have to sit through whatever general chat comes up, if any comes up. I didn't put out an announcement when or where this weekly chat was going to happen. But if you're looking to catch these, of course, you can use the old YouTube method, subscribe, and hit the bell. You know what to do. I've gone ahead and actually separated these cards so they'll be easy to pull. So we'll go through, let's put them in the order that we want. Always want to do activity last. And if you're watching later on, hey, say hello in the comments section and all that stuff, help the analytics and algorithm if you feel so inspired to do so. Let's see. So we're going to start off with our affirmation. Sorry. Good morning. What's going on? Thank you for joining us. So we'll start off with the affirmations. We'll get a little guidance. We'll do a little inspiration, and then we'll have an activity. How does that sound? We'll do it in that order. Do it in that order. All right. So affirmations first, right? So that the people watching this later do not have to sit through a bunch of stuff and me rambling at the computer screen. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can actually shuffle these things. I cannot. Whoa. These are not meant for my hands. These cards are way too unruly. All right. So mix them up. All right. We're just going to go with the top card for our affirmation. Let's begin with our affirmation. All right. Here's our affirmation. Here we go. I have good in me. If I fall into darkness, I can always find my way back to the light. Remember that darkness is the absence of light, right? So if you find yourself in darkness, all you need is a little spark, a little light. But there's your affirmation. There's our affirmation, mine included. I have good in me. If I fall to darkness, I can always find my way back to the light. Remember that, Jedi. It's important. Yeah, it's a good one. And it's got, look at that. It's got Sebastian there. I forget his last name. But yeah, the original face of Anakin / Darth Vader. But there you go. I have good in me. And you do. You have good in you, Jedi. And if you find, and this kind of pertains to what we were talking about last week, when you feel darkness going around you, that you can find your way back to the light. All right. So there's our first affirmation card. We'll move on to the next if I can find a. Oh, actually, forgot. We can read a little more on it, right? We'll read a little more on it. Here we go. With the fate of the galaxy hanging in the balance, Luke Skywalker inspires his father to abandon his dark ways and end the Emperor's reign. If Darth Vader can break free from the dark side, there's hope for us all. Have you ever felt like you were a bad person because of something you did? What did you do to bring the good within yourself back to the surface? So, yeah, here's the questions. No one's perfect. No one goes through life making all the perfect choices. So you can bring yourself back, and maybe this is a good place to start, right? Let's see. Good morning, Mobo. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. All right, so that's our first one. You have good in you. All right, that's our first one. Now let's get a little guidance on that. Huh? Let's. Okay, I'm not shuffling these at all. These are not shuffle. I will learn to do this eventually. Maybe. All right. I'm just gonna pull from the top. Sure. All right. I'll pull from the top. Boom. Okay. Every journey begins with a first step. Have patience when a task seems overwhelming. Start by doing one small thing rather than everything at once. And that's our guidance for the week. All right. You know, every journey, the old Lao Tzu quote, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So every journey begins with a first step. So have the patience. Begin. Just take that step. Just take the first step forward. Just kind of move forward, and kind of just work with it, with what you're given. Remember the Jedi ideals and remember the Jedi concepts of active patience versus passive patience, and apply those as necessary. So guidance for the week. Patience, Jedi, patience. Don't try to swallow the entire pie, huh? And there's no book number there, so we'll move on. And we're going to go with inspiration next. What's our inspiration? How fitting indeed. I think we all can kind of relate to projects and things that we want to do, whether hobby or work or school or any of that we all have things that we want to do. Life in general can feel overwhelming. And it's important to remember just to tackle the small things, the little things, the things that you can do and the things you can control and the things you can take care of. And just take those little steps, take a piece of the pie. If you can't do everything, do something. Bring down at least some of your coffee cups, down. You don't have to bring them all down, but, one or two, it's a start. It's something. It's a beginning step. That's all what it is. That's all what it is. All right. Inspiration. Okay. I'm going with this one. That's a good one too, but we're going with this one. All right. Again, your inspiration for the week. Be patient. Nothing is impossible. You may be destined for great things, but reaching your goals still takes time, hard work, and determination. So that's our guidance for this week. We seem to be getting a message here, right? To have patience. Our guidance and our inspiration is both talking about patience here, and how we want to do that, and taking time. It still takes time. Hard work and determination, right? What's that old quote that all those motivational people love to throw around? Success is when opportunity meets preparation, or preparation meets opportunity. Either way, I guess. But yeah, you can still reach your goals. You're destined for great things. That's going to change per definition and per person and per what you consider great and all that fun stuff. But life is just about that. Facts. Yeah. Be patient. Nothing is impossible. Reaching your goals still takes time, hard work, and determination. So those are your guidance and your inspiration. Oh, we got a number for that. All right, we got a number. Let's see what the book has to say. All right. When Rey feels like she'll never be able to become a true Jedi, Leia is there to remind her to hold on to hope and faith in herself. Have you ever felt like giving up before? I'm sure we all have. What kept you from admitting defeat? Did you achieve your objective? If not, what could you still do to make it happen? Also, I wouldn't say it's like defeat. Sometimes things aren't meant for you, and sometimes you're not meant for certain things. Sometimes our paths need to diverge to get to where we need to go to open doors to something better in our lives. A lot of tragedy or heartbreak or things of that nature, when we wanted to get like a certain goal or achieve a certain thing, we didn't get it, but we found that opened a door or a path to something else later on in life. And when we look back, we're like, well, I wouldn't be here if I didn't, if I didn't go down that path, if I didn't experience that, whatever, defeat or failure or loss, so the world and universe is much bigger than our singular perception often allows. So, yeah, just put in the work. Put in the work. It's all right. You'll get there. All right. Last one, activity. Our activity for the week. And then we'll do, if someone wants a personal reading, like if you want an inspiration, another like a personal inspiration for you for the week or for the day or for whatever you're dealing with right now. If you want just like see what the cards, what the force wants to tell you, then you can do that. We'll open it up for that. And you can just put it in the chat box, like inspiration, activity, guidance, or affirmation, just to see what you get and what you want. All right. If you want to do that. All right. But for our general, everybody watching this now, live and later, we're going to do a little activity. Let's do a little activity. Okay. And we'll stay on top. We're going to do it. Ooh. Okay, this is interesting. Activity. Hold a race. Any kind will do. Push yourself to go faster than you ever have before. Doesn't matter who wins as long as you cross the finish line with pride. Double the pride, double the fall, Jedi. Okay, I'll pull one. We'll do that right after this one. Excellent. Thank you. All right, so hold a race. Any kind will do. So, there's the obvious racing, running. There's more dangerous racing, street racing, car racing. There's bicycle racing, right? These are all kind of physical racing, but there's also other ways you can race. What is the best time on getting the dishes done? What is vacuuming a room? You and your roommate, you and your significant other, you and your partner, you and your parents can kind of do chores, like which one gets their chores done first, right? The race can really be anything. Remember, it can be any kind will do. Push yourself to go faster. But here's the thing too with this activity. There's I want to throw in some addendums on on this thing. One, sometimes haste makes waste sometimes. All right. Remember, we got some things on being patient, right? So, racing is sometimes just about going at the slow and steady pace. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. Sometimes it's not about rushing. Sometimes it's just about kind of methodically going through it and getting the stuff done. All right. And so hold a race, but there's plenty of fun ways to do that. You can do a Jedi race. You can sign up for a Spartan race or a mud run in your area, maybe, and take a friend and race that way. It doesn't have to happen this week, but you can do a race. You can hold a race. Any kind will do. There's many ways you can fulfill this one if you so desire. You can open up a like World of Warcraft or something, and there's racing things in there, right? Where was the other one? Star Wars: The Old Republic. There, you could race in there. You know what you could do? You could do Knights of the Old Republic, and there's swoop racing in that game, and you can go swoop racing. Hold a race. Go faster than you ever been. However you want to do that. There you go. There's your activity. Be patient and race, I guess. Okay. So let's go to affirmations because we got a couple of requests for affirmations. So first, in order. And just to reiterate, so if you want a personal reading, you can just shout out which kind you want, and we'll do it that way. All right. So, Melbo, we will do affirmation. All right. So, I want you to, whatever you're thinking on, just kind of, chill, get your energy right, get your meditation on, connect with the force, the source, the Zoe, anything that you want to call it, whatever fits your culture, whatever fits your beliefs, whatever fits you. Just go ahead and focus, and we'll just. What do we got? This one seems to come up a lot, but this one's for you, Melvo. I am limitless. I have the potential to do anything and to be anyone. There are no boundaries to what I can achieve. So you are limitless, and you have the potential to do anything and be anyone you so desire. And, that works for you. There are boundaries. There are no boundaries to what you can achieve. You can achieve, hey, like that other card, right? You put in the work, the determination, and it has a little more for you. So we'll talk about that. Called to a mysterious cave beneath the cliffs of Octu, Ray finds herself gazing at a seemingly endless string of her reflections. She ponders her true self, hoping that her past will provide clearer insight into her future. When you look into the mirror, who do you see? Looking beyond who you are right at this moment, can you begin to see the person who you might become? That's always a good one. That's a. There you go. So you are limitless. You can do and be anything. Get that, I feel we keep pulling this because people keep doubting it. All right. You're limitless. Be limitless. All right. We'll put that over here. Okay. So I hope that fit for you. I hope that offers something for you. A nice little reminder to be who you want to be. All right, I'll take an affirmation. Scold cold. Go take an affirmation. So I want you to just chill. I want you to focus in. I want you to set your energy right. I want you to focus on the cards. And all right, this is what popped out. So you're gonna love this. When I am optimistic, when everything seems lost, I never lose sight of what's really important. I always fight to save the things I love. Yeah. I am optimistic. When everything seems lost, I never lose sight of what's really important. I always fight to save the things I love. And there's no page number, so I can't give you nothing more. There's nothing in the book. That's it. Go fight for the things you love. Fight to save the things you love. You are optimistic. All right? Be optimistic. Go fight. Go fight people. Or don't. Don't fight people. Yeah, and this is one of those affirmations that I think is more of a, hey, this is something probably more that you need to do. But I think everybody struggles with that. Like, when everything seems lost, I never lose sight of what's really important. I don't think anybody in the world, in the universe, on the trillions of planets that inhabit life, I don't think anybody could really say that when everything seems lost, I never lose sight of what's really important. I'm not a fan of words like always and never, but only a Sith deals in absolutes, I guess. So, I think it's just the reminder to focus in. I think this is just the reminder to focus in, to remember what's really important and to fight for those things and to be optimistic about that fight. Like, it's not a losing battle. It's not an ending battle and things of that nature. Oof. Yes. Thank you. I feel the universe calling me out. That's awesome to hear. I'm glad. That's always good. That's important. So if anybody wants, cards, we got the cards if you want to throw them in there. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, we can do that too. But I've had these cards call me out too. The universe calling me out as well. It's always fun. It's always fun how synchronicity seems to work in our universe. No matter how much you believe or disbelieve in those sort of things, you know, to quote Obi-Wan, there's no such thing as luck. But sometimes these coincidences are too much that you can't ignore, and it's all meant for our own psychological exploration and our own exploration of our own lives. It helps us reflect and kind of key into areas that we need to work on and remind ourselves of personally, so that we can continue to grow forward, both in our personal path and then in other paths like philosophical, spiritual, career wise, relationship wise. So taking those things, a hard look at the glass being full, but I get what it's going for. Or focus. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the last part is true. Yeah, that's one of those tougher affirmations that it seems a little too, it's being a little too forceful, I think. But the idea, as Melbo said, is more about your focus determines your reality kind of idea, and not to lose sight of what's really important, and to be willing to fight for those things to a certain point. You should never really have to fight for the things that are truly important, or fight to keep them in your lives, I guess I should say. If it's, if you have to fight tooth and nail to keep something in your life, it might not be meant for your life. It shouldn't work that way. But sometimes we do have to fight for the things we love. So yeah, go fight people. Obviously, grain of salt with that advice there. All right, so again, the floor is kind of open. I don't really have much to, I didn't have any topics to really talk about this week. It's mainly same old. I'm still working on projects. I'm still trying to do all that, and still trying to make sure that I haven't gotten the videos done that I keep talking about I'm going to do. So I'm not talking about doing videos and the subjects on those, because I keep talking them and I still haven't got them done. I haven't got the filming done at all. So we're still on that, but I am working on some projects. Optimistic about them. If somehow they start panning out, we're gonna have some great news, and I think we're really gonna have some stuff that people are really gonna enjoy and really gonna be vibing with, and I think it'll really help this channel kind of grow in a way that's fruitful for everybody, and I think we'll be able to offer something a bit more. We'll be able to offer something a bit more. I'll have to work on my speech a bit because I'm not great at it, but a grain of sea salt, if you will. Yeah, maybe go fight people isn't the best advice, but maybe sometimes it is, right? I really appreciate these lives on Sunday, especially before I do my Sunday cleaning. Gives me something to ponder. Absolutely. I mean, same way. I do them before I go to do my chores, which is basically vacuuming and dishes, both which provide ample time to just kind of chill and reflect and offer some food for thought. And so it's always good to kind of do these, and that's why I kind of like this time as well, because it's just before I decide to go do that, and yeah, we can all use a break and kind of just reflect on our path and where we're at and where we're going, the things we want to do, how we might get there, what it might look like. The idea, I'm not a big fan of certain concepts of it, but the idea of manifestation, and one of the key aspects is kind of really embodying it, beforehand. And it's basically understanding that you're deserving of that thing and that you'll get there. And it's just about getting yourself into that position and that mindset, getting into the mindset as if you already have it, as if you're already there, having that kind of mindset set. And that's one of the things, we can sit here and we can reflect, we can talk, we can throw out some cards that offer some food for thought, and then we go be, we can't neglect, as much as it's fun to be philosophical, as much as it's fun to be spiritual and things of that nature, and to kind of dig into those kind of topics. Ultimately, regardless of how you view this world, this universe, you want to call it a simulation, fine, it's a simulation. I still got to do dishes in the simulations, right? If the Sims can't get out of the work, then certainly I can't get out of the work. right? So we still have to do those daily tasks, but those daily tasks, as mundane as they might be, are important to our own existence, and they do allow us a time to kind of reflect on the beauty of one life and the universe. I mean, when you really think about it, our human time on Earth and how old the Earth is, never mind the universe itself, is pretty amazing. That we're in this small window and that we got to be alive at this time. Despite this time being a moment of change in human history, and with that, changes, as we talked about in a previous video, change is tough. Change isn't always pretty, man. Change usually, it takes some effort. It takes some effort, and so it's one of those things, but we're here, and there's plenty of goodness to focus on. There's plenty of good stuff to be focusing on and doing, and yeah. So I have some big projects coming my way, and at first I thought I wasn't ready. Lots of self-doubt was my ability, but the affirmation card made me rethink. Exactly. And just for like to catch up, yeah, that's the one. Limitless. Yeah, the potential to do anything. There are no boundaries to what you can achieve. And yeah, I totally relate to that. I myself, as I've kind of mentioned, trying to work on a project, trying to get something that's big going. And if it works, then like things are going to change. Life is going to change. Everything's going to change, and it's going to change pretty abruptly and pretty quickly, which is going to be difficult. And again, as we just talked about, change is not comfortable. Change is difficult to manage sometimes, and it can get messy in there before we get out to the other side. As we adjust and as we make these changes and we come out the other side, it can get really messy and really chaotic in there. It can get really like it's you have the potential to lose your way. But as we pulled for our affirmation this week, you can always find your way back to the light. You can always find your way to that other side of the tunnel and come out the other side. And that's important. It's important. So yeah. And then for those, for that project, hey, be patient. Nothing is impossible. And, if a task seems overwhelming, start by doing one small thing rather than everything at once. And yeah, and just kind of focus determines the reality, right? And then get in there and you do that. So I'm right there with you. It's scary, but like, I'm glad, first of all, that's awesome for you that you do have some big projects coming your way and you are able, like, that's always good, to have that kind of, to have those things to look forward to. They're scary, right? Yeah. Self-doubt. Like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know. This might not be for me, and things, all those questions start coming in. But the reality is your experience and your learning and everything has brought you to this point, and you are limitless. You have the potential to do anything. So you can get there. You will get there. And it's just about remembering everything you've been through your entire life. Your entire life has presented you with changes and challenges and things that you've come through, and you've gotten to this point so far. So far, not doing too bad, right? So yeah, and then start small with big changes. Absolutely. Good afternoon, Journey with Me. Thank you for joining us. We had our weekly readings, which was be patient. Nothing is impossible. Every journey begins with the first step, right? I have good in me. You can always find your way back to the light, and to hold a race. Any kind will do. And we talked about different kinds of races, such as racing to get chores done or things like that, or all sorts of races that can be done. Racing in games, video games, and things of that nature. So, and if you, of course, have want one of our cards pulled, I mean, you don't have to stick to one. You can have, you could do more than one. But if you want a card pulled, I should there. like more like that, you can ask for one, and we can do that. But yeah, they seem to actually be pretty on the nose, even if they're a little, wonky, and they tell people to go fight people. Or maybe that was just me and my interpretation, but still. So yeah, so that's what our affirmations are for this week. Mainly, yeah, I would wrap it up by being like, changes, because again, we're in this society of change. Is messy and scary, but as long as we approach it with the right focus and the right mindset, low patience, right, active and passive patience, and we stick to ourselves and understanding that we are capable and that we're limitless, right, that we have the abilities to do that, then we can absolutely make those changes happen, and we can come out the other side. It may not always happen how we envision and how we hope, and we may not get here, but we always will come out the other side. We can find our way back to the light. It's not, it's never a one-way journey. Okay, here's loading The Incredibles. Yeah, I mean, that's a good. She's pretty good. She's pretty good motivator. She's pretty good role model. That's not a bad voice to have in your head. To motivate you forward. So yeah. So all right. Let's see. Any questions? Any cards to be pulled? Any comments, concerns from any of our viewers? I'll give some time. But if you have any questions, comments, and if not, hey, we get out of here early. We don't do a 2-hour live this time, for people who have to catch up on all that and want to to watch it. Anna's on the right track though. She's focused. Absolutely. Yeah. She's focused. She knows. That's someone who's definitely as focused and knows what it takes to get things done and to motivate people. Yeah. Not a bad voice to have in your head at all. Ooh. Can I get a guidance card for that fighting card? Yeah. All right. Fair enough. We can ask for some guidance on what that was talking about. All right. Fair enough. I'm afraid to pull an activity card. It might tell you to go fight people. All right, so just sit back, chill, get your energy right. Think about what kind of guidance do you need for the week. What kind of guidance do you need for the week? Well, it fits with the card. Strength is more than just a physical attribute. Appreciate your inner strengths. Reflect on what strengths you possess and observe the strengths in the friends and family around you. So you have, let's go back with this. So you have, when everything seems lost, I never lose sight of what's really important. I always fight to save the things I love. And then you have to reflect on the strengths you possess and observe the strengths in the friends and family around you, of the people you love. All right. And let's see what it has to say. 31. Okay. Chewbacca may be a Wookiee warrior with a pair of powerful limbs, but his strength goes far deeper than that. He's also a loyal friend with a big heart who will do whatever it takes to defend his allies. What strengths do you value most in someone? How do they complement your own strengths? How can you use your natural strengths to bring out the best in others? So those are some of your questions right there. So yeah, I feel like that's a good shove to remember your strengths and fighting forward with those things. Absolutely. And it's like a different way of when it says, I always fight to save the things I love. I think it's also a reminder that fighting isn't always physical. Strength is more than just a physical attribute. Appreciate your inner strength. So fighting sometimes can be, more of a intellectual thing. It can be an emotional thing. Those are fights that we have as well. Um, it's also important to remember fighting is not always an outward thing. That can very much be an inward thing. Fighting with your own insecurities and remembering your own strengths. So remembering that, fight to save the things I love could be the things you love about yourself. So fight to save the things you love about yourself, and remember that, you have strengths, reflect on the strengths that you possess. So it can be completely internal as well. It's not always outwardly, but it can can be both. And that's for you, and that's between you and the force. I like that a lot. Yeah. That's just something to reflect on and something to think about. And again, like this can be, anybody can take this. This may be a reading for Skull Cold or those two cards, but it may relate to someone else. It's like I always use this thing, but like they tell you in school that raise your hand and ask a question, because for one person who raises their hand to ask a question, there's usually 5 people with the exact same question that just for whatever reason may not feel comfortable asking that question, but they might have that question. So same with this. Someone might be getting a reading for themselves, someone might be, having the cards pulled for themselves, but it could relate to you, or at least offer some own food for thought for yourself. So that's always something to think on, and that's always something to take with you as you do your chores, as you cook some food, or as you do the dishes, as you vacuum or whatever. That's something to think about and to reflect on, take into your meditations and things of that nature, to your workouts if your meditations are more physical or more active. All right, does anybody else want another card pull? We still have some time, or we can end it early and we can jump out of here. Or if you have any, if you have Jedi questions, Star Wars questions, gaming questions, life questions, philosophy, Zoism, vampire culture, whatever you got. If you have questions, we're here to talk, relax with one another, explore this crazy thing we call life and the universe. Yes, I agree that I like that there's something in the cards for everyone to chew on. Absolutely. I really like these cards, man. I really do. This is the box in case if anybody's looking to pick them up. The Star Wars Affirmation cards. 52 ways to discover your inner Jedi. But yeah, and that's the back of the box. Back of the box. It's really cool though. I really like them. They've been fun. They've been neat. They've offered a lot of food for thought, and it's definitely. I like that we get to come to this channel and hang out and kind of explore them and talk about them and kind of explore that stuff and open up. It can open up some discussions, things of that nature. Some great advice there, mate. No question. Just thanks a lot. Hey, appreciate you. Appreciate it. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think we just try to, use the inspiration, explore our philosophy as best we can, explore how that might relate to our everyday lives, because we, as talked about, it doesn't matter how you view this universe, we still have to go through it. We still have to go through it. We still have to live it. We still have to experience it. We're still in this, we still have to deal with everything that comes with being a sentient being alive in this universe, on this planet at this time, everything that comes with that. And a lot of good stuff comes with that, but also a lot of challenges, a lot of experiences that are definitely going to challenge it. So, I'm glad you feel that there's some good advice and definitely good food for thought. It's why I like coming here and doing these cards. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate you saying so. I really do. I really appreciate you saying something. I really do. I appreciate that a lot. I would like a guidance and an activity card, please. All right. I'm going to do that in that order then. I was going to do the activity first, and I was like, I'll just do it in that order. Okay. So we'll do a guidance card for the week. So, journey, just sit back, close your eyes, hang out if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it, but just, get that energy on, think about it. Like, think about your upcoming week and what kind of guidance do you need? What kind of guidance do you need for the week? Okay. Here we go. And got a little Anakin there, giving the Sithy stare. It's normal to be afraid, but fear can be a path to the dark side. It can open the door to an endless wave of negative emotions. Allow yourself to be afraid, but don't let fear guide your actions. Don't let fear guide your actions. I actually pulled this card for myself not too long ago. Don't let fear guide your actions. But what I really feel this card saying more than anything, equanimity, that Jedi concept of equanimity. Feel everything you feel. Like, that's important. It's important knowledge. We don't ignore our emotions, right? We don't bottle up the emotions. We don't do all that, right? We don't pretend we don't have emotion. We feel, and whatever we feel is information for us to move forward on. But this is saying equanimity. So feel, but don't be pushed by it. Don't go into the knee-jerk reactions of it. So that's that's some guidance from the cards to allow yourself to feel. I'm not going to even use afraid or fear. Maybe that's relevant to you, but I feel like the card can be more generalized in the sense of feel what you feel, and whatever you face for the coming week, and kind of back throughout life, feel what you feel, but don't allow it to push you or guide you. Those things are information. They're waypoints or way signs. They help you understand where you're going, or what you're experiencing. But they're not the things those aren't the proper motivators, and those aren't the proper guides. Those aren't the ones that are going to give you the best advice. Like they say, never make a decision in anger, and never make a promise when happy, right? So equanimity is kind of what I feel this card is just a reminder of. Is equanimity. All right. So feel what you feel, and it's okay to feel that. There's no such thing as a negative emotion. There's no such thing as emotion that's tied to the dark side. Like, that's all the false dichotomy that's created in a black and white universe, and that's fine for storytelling. But the reality is that there's no such thing as a negative emotion. While emotions can impact us negatively, meaning they can, the chemicals in our system and things of that nature, it's important to understand that the emotions themselves are not negative. They are just waypoints. They're just telling us information about ourselves and how we view the world, and how we view the situation that we're in. So just take that into consideration. Feel. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. It's okay. No judgment on whatever you're feeling. And then move forward with the Jedi mind. Move forward with what you have in mind, with where you want to go, with your goals and destinations in mind, with your reminders of Jedi thought or Jedi philosophy, or your own philosophies and things of that nature, and move forward with that. All right. For your activity card, again, just kind of, what activity do we need if we're not worried, if we're talking about equanimity? So what kind of activity should go along with that? Let's see what we get. Okay, this is a challenging one for just about this. If I pulled this, I'd be like, oh, this probably ain't gonna happen. But then again, we have to remember to think outside the box here. Okay, but here's your activity. make a new friend, talk to someone new, and find out what you have in common. There's a good chance that you are more alike than you first imagined. So that's the activity for the week. Make a new friend. Make a new friend. Talk to someone new. Now, this can be anything. Like this can be someone who's already in a social group, right? This could be someone who's already in your social circle somehow, but you haven't talked to them. Maybe you always see them at the coffee shop, or maybe you have a group of friends that you hang out with and they're a friend of a friend and you've never connected with them one-on-one. You've never really talked one-on-one. And you can make a new friend with them. This could be, you can use family that maybe you haven't talked to, a cousin or something like that, second cousin, who knows? But it can also be online. You can make new friends online, right? Like, I know some people still have that weird stigma of like, oh, it's an online friend, not a real friend, like whatever. But you can make a new friend online. You can do that. Yeah, you can like, if you play a video game, if even a mobile game, right? Like you join one of those alliance. A lot of those mobile games have alliances or guilds or things like that. You can join that. Hey, maybe you make a new friend through there. There's a million ways to make a new friend, to talk to someone new and see what you have in common. There's a bunch. There's not just a thing. I would struggle with this one a little bit, because that's a social anxiety thing. Like, that's a little tough for introverted social anxiety people. This one's a little tough to swallow. But again, there's more than one way to accomplish this one, and that's like the same with the race, right? There's a lot of ways that you can accomplish this one, this activity. But yeah, equanimity, yes. Brother, what inspired the nail polish on your fingers? Or I don't know what those I don't know what those emojis are supposed to represent there. What inspired the nail polish on my fingers? What inspired it was my partner and I were talking about the basically like the climate, society's climate, especially in the United States. And we were talking about how the majority, if not all, women don't feel safe around men. And that there's like, that there's uncertainty, and that sometimes people look for telltale signs or clues that someone is a bit safe, or like not someone they have to worry about. And it's usually people who are more out there, or in different ways. And that's one of the things that they look for, is that kind of outward, outlandish kind of style. If you look at the actor who played Ned in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, the hammer droid, loading droid, but everybody knows Ned with the hammer. The actor himself is quite an interesting guy, and he's very creative. And he just recently went to a fabric store in LA and bought this like pleather stuff. Like, he got a whole roll of it for like $5, and he made himself, because he's a very tall dude. He's very big, right? He's a very tall guy, and obviously why he's great for those kind of roles like Ned and stuff like that. And he made himself this like leather, like pleather kind of like suit, but then he put on like iridescent lettering on one side that says possible, down from the shoulder all the way onto the pant legs for the jacket. So the jacket starts, and it's possible. And his idea is anything possible. It looks very outlandish and stuff like that, but a lot of people, especially in today's climate, whether anybody part of the LGBTQ plus crowd, and then women in general, of all sorts, kind of are looking for that area of safety. And in that, there's little telltale signs that a person is more accepting of different lifestyles, or more accepting of certain things, and that they're not, that they're not, I don't know. I don't know how to properly phrase it, but basically, that's what it is. And I was talking, and again, it derived out of a conversation of me and my partner, because she was having that as well, and I thought it was just a cool idea. And I kind of dress in my own way. I've always dressed in my own way, but like you'll usually see me on here or videos, and I got the bow tie, and I have my stuff and my vest, and I kind of I have my style of dress. I have my hats that I like to wear and things of that nature, and things like that. And but it, and then adding the nail polish was kind of that outward way to be like, look, I'm a weirdo, like 100%. You're safe, dude. Like if you ever find yourself in a position that you feel like you need to approach someone because you're not feeling comfortable or something, it's nice to be able to kind of recognize people. We don't really have like a bracelet or necklaces, or we don't have signs over our head that say, hey, this person's a decent person. And nail polish doesn't do it either, but like at the same time, it can help people kind of navigate the world. You're not really going to find right-wing extremists wearing nail polish, right? You're not going to find those like kind of dudes wearing nail polish. So it's just one of those like little outward signs that people can do to try to make people feel more comfortable, that it's okay to be, and my thing always is it's okay to be you, and it's okay to be, you let your freak flag fly, kind of thing. Like, be weird, be authentic, be true to yourself. And so we were talking about just like little ways that you can outwardly show that without people, because people, if you don't know someone, how are you ever going to know that it's okay to start certain conversations with someone or to meet someone like that? And it's usually, and humans are hardwired to judge things optically, or like right away. There's snap judgments that we make. People can be like, oh, I'm non-judgmental, but like everybody makes snap judgments. And so anything that you can do to kind of add to that. So that was it came out of that kind of conversation about just society in the United States, how people are feeling. The kind of atmosphere is a little tense for certain people right now, and what can we do to kind of like show support in minimal ways and just small ways to let people know, like, oh yeah, hey, on your side, kind of thing. And one of the things that was suggested and has been suggested, again, came out of our conversation, but I've seen it on social media as well, is again nail polish as a way to do it. And then so I was like, all right, that's a cool idea, but I would need something that fits me. Like, I still can't go outside of, like, I can't do something just because it's a good idea. I still have to have my own flavor. I still have to do my own thing. So I went with this, it's black with, you can't really see it, but it's black with a silver like glitter in it, like, so it's that black sparkly stuff. I don't know. I like it. So it works for me. And, but yeah, that's where it came from. That was the conversation it bore out of. And that's why I chose to go with it. At first I just started off with, thumbs, and then I was like, meh, might as well go all the way. Because like, I don't know, I've never worn nail polish before, so like it has a weird feeling to me on my nails. Like, it feels heavy, like I can feel it. And so when it was just on my thumbs, it was really kind of like weird. And so 100% I went with that, with the full things, because I was like, that's better. And it just looks, like, to me, like, it looks better. And then also, it reminds me, 100% reminds me and inspires me for, like, it got me into playing Cyberpunk again, Cyberpunk 2077, because you can do your nails in that game. And because it's first person, like, even when you're driving and stuff, like, you'll see your nails. And it reminds me of that. Like, I always, like, now I see it, and my mind automatically jumps back to that game and makes me think of V in that game, which is always fun too. So yeah, that's where it came from. That's where, like, the inspiration comes from and stuff like that. You absolutely didn't need to answer that, but it's cool that you did. Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't have to answer things, but I think I think it's important to talk about stuff. The Jedi path, Zoism, spirituality, whatever you want to call it, Star Wars, Jedi, anything like that. It's about, I mean, we still have to exist in this world. Again, like we talked about it, right? Like philosophy, spirituality, these things are great and they can be all this lofty ideas, but we still exist in this time, at this moment, in this society, and we still have to kind of go through it, and we still have to exist here. So how do you take the philosophy and how do you apply it to everyday life? Like how can you do things like that? And there's questions, people have questions, and I've talked with people like on all sides. I don't believe in the false dichotomy approach that a lot of that the world seems to have. And so I think it's important to have dialogue, and I think it's important to have discussions and talk about it. And I think it's important to be open and honest if we can. Not everybody's comfortable doing that. Don't ever force yourself to do that. As Melvo says, you absolutely do not need to answer. You owe nobody nothing. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't owe anybody education. You don't owe anybody anything. So you never feel like you have to like take on that mantle. But I've been doing that for like 20 years, right? And I mean, like for Jedi stuff, but I've been doing that. Like I've been trying to wear the mantle of, mentor and like stuff like that. Again, usually Jedi related, but I've been in fields like that for a long time. And so I'm a bit more comfortable, a little bit more comfortable in shouldering that and having that discussion and being able, I definitely will curate, and I'll definitely curate my things, the chat and stuff. I've had to do it before, but absolutely. I just think it's important to talk about. So, as long as we can have a discussion, if people start getting, some people just can't, and it's important to remember we can disagree about some things, and that's okay. And we can definitely talk about things, but it's when people get, but never feel you have to put on that mantle. But I'm willing to at least try. I'm willing to at least try and be open. Thank you for the cards, Opie. I didn't see the nail polish before. I like it. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's just from like because I'm like holding up the cards like that and like or like this, and people are catching it. So, what did we pull? Hey, we pulled this card. I can do it. Nothing is impossible. I refuse to give up. Eventually, trying will become doing. I have a different take on the whole, there is no try quote. I have a little bit different take, but there you go. That was fun. There we go. Just a random one for you. But yeah, absolutely. I like you, man. Thank you. 100% true. I appreciate it. Cheers. I only have coffee because I don't know. Maybe I'll cheers up some mimosas, man. But thank you. Appreciate you, true. No problem. And thank you for asking. Yeah, questions are always welcome. Never feel they have to be Jedi related or anything like that. So, I mean, we're all here to learn, grow, and things. So it's all good. I appreciate the allyship. I think it's really forward thinking to give a tell to others outside your personal world to show your willingness to be a safe resource. Yeah, I just wish there was kind of a better way to do that. But there'll never be a better way to do that, right? Like you could wear because anything you can wear, someone else can wear to distort it or to try to make it not safe, right? Like anybody could wear a rainbow jacket, right? That would indicate to some people, and that's what I worry about. Like I worry, but I'm like anxiety brain, so I think about like 50 scenarios on how something can go wrong. But yeah, I just wish there was a way that we could do it a little bit better. Maybe tattoos, because that's permanent. Again, I wouldn't know what you would get though to kind of show that, like just tattoo ally, put it right there. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's important, especially in today's climate, to understand that you're not alone, that people aren't alone, and that there's people as much like we get too caught up in perceiving again the snap judgments, the outward looks of people. We're getting a little too caught up, and we've had obviously it's a human issue for way too long that we get caught up in these outward appearances and we make snap judgments on these really outward appearances. And it's important that we try to work past that and understand that people with the outward appearances that we might judge as scary or bad are in fact friends or allies, or if nothing else, a safe harbor for 5, 10, 30 minutes, things of that nature. However, my thanks for your effort is thanking you for a low bar achievement and, and positive reinforcement for others. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's again, like it's hard to do that things. Speaking of Cyberpunk, how is that game? Has it gotten any better? It's definitely gotten a lot better. They definitely have added in some really good patches and things of that nature. The game is really fun. I've liked it from the beginning. Um, I didn't really experience all of the hard bugs with it. Like I experienced some and things of that nature, but it seems pretty clean now. I've been doing a playthrough recently, and it seems pretty clean. Seems pretty fun still. I enjoy the story and running around Night City. I mean, it's really fun to run around Night City, in my opinion. Um, I still wish the character customization was a bit better, personally. Like I know they have like cool hairstyles and colors and the nail polish and like things like that, but I think they could have done more stuff with the tattoos, and instead of just body and then like head tattoos, that they could have done them almost individually or at least body part wise, and you could have really like mixed it up and stuff like that, and or like. With the face and the body types. I feel like the body types should definitely have been something that could have been played around with more. So, but I still like it. I still have fun with it. I still enjoy it. Uh, those are all small. All my things about it are really small, nitpicky things. I really enjoy the game. I really have fun with it. I love being V, running around and doing cyberpunk stuff and trying to do that and trying to come up with a decent build that works for me. I tend to end up specifically. It's almost like Skyrim. Like when you play Skyrim, like you're like, oh, I'm gonna start a new character and I'm gonna go this build, and you almost always start gravitating towards this other build that just the gameplay kind of where the gameplay kind of almost gears you towards them. Like you're like, this just makes the game easier, which of course makes the game fun. That you can, at least in my opinion, right? Because I'm there for the story, I'm there for the adventure, I'm there for the exploration. So anything that allows me to do that without like, I got enough anxiety. I don't need video games to like, I don't need video games to test my Jedi calm and equanimity, right? I don't need that. Life does that enough. I am not a Dark Souls person, right? So I definitely appreciate those games, but I tend to gravitate into a certain style of playing every time, no matter how I start, where I'm like, oh, this time I'm going to go totally cool. I'm going to put all my points into cool, and I'm going to put all my points into technical ability, and that's how I'm going to build it. And I end up almost always building a strength build every time. But I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. That's why I like coming here. Appreciate you, my guy. Hey, thank you. Well, that's why I like this. I like doing this. We have a pretty good culture here. We have a pretty good. Culture here. We have pretty good. We have great people who come here, and we all kind of get to explore this path and the philosophy and the fun inspiration stuff. Like the stuff from Star Wars. We get to share our loves of the nerd culture of life and stuff like that, of our freak flag, whatever makes us happy, that passion. We get to do that. We get to share it. We get to share our cultures and our understandings, and we get to share that with people across the globe. We often have people here from other countries and things of that nature. So I'm still chilling in the United States, and so but we got people from all over the world. And yeah, I love being here, and I love experiencing it. I love talking with everybody, and I love that the culture that we've been, and it is a collective effort. Culture is always a collective thing, and this channel has somehow managed to in which I equate mostly to all of you, that we've built a decent culture here, and we've built a spot where we can talk about things, and we can be comfortable asking questions and voicing an opinion without without fear. And I think that's important. The bugs were a shame. The writing in that game was really strong, I think. I agree. I mean, I really enjoy, and I think you can find it on YouTube because I think Cyberpunk themselves, CD Red, put out a video of it. But there's a part where you're speaking with a doll, and she's in this kind of like mode, and you can choose to talk about it or not. But like, she kind of like digs at your character, talking about like about how you go through Night City and that you've never let anything stop you, and that whole like, and it's low. I love the low tones. I love like it's soft speaking, and I love that. I love that, like you bring it down. It's mellow, it's soft speaking, and it's talking about personal determination and personal choice, and the fact of like you're not going to give up as much as you may feel like you want to. That's just not who you are, and it's never been who you are. So you are going to go through it, and you're going to do whatever's possible. If you need to, blow up the city, you're going to blow up the city. That's just, it is what it is. Right. And I've really appreciate the writing in that game. CD Red, I feel bad for him because it clearly was a passion project. They put in 15 years into that game. Their marketing, I don't know if their marketing department wasn't on par with them, because I think they really did themselves a lot of disservice there. Their people trying to, putting out timelines and stuff when they weren't ready. It was a lot of, I feel, corporate mismanagement, because the people who made the game really put love into it. I mean, every car you hear in that game, they took a real life comparable car and took it out to the track and had microphones attached near the muffler and in the inside where you drive, and recorded those sounds. They literally took out. So Johnny Silverhand's Porsche, they literally had a 911 Porsche out on a racetrack, and that they drove around so that they got the authentic sounds for it. The motorcycles, they brought out Keanu Reeves' motorcycle company and brought and shipped over motorcycles from his company to run on the track. So when you're riding on those motorcycles, they are his, and they brought out, one of the co-creators of Cyberpunk, the role-playing game. And he's one of the, he did a lot of voice work on it. He's one of the DJs that you hear on the station. He's one of the ones that talks a lot, especially about the conspiracy stuff, about the lore of Cyberpunk, of the gangs you don't see in Cyberpunk, the video game, right? But exist in the game. He talks about those and what happened to them and things of that nature. There's a lot of love in it, and there's a lot of beauty in it, and there's a lot of design in it. And I just think it wasn't handled on the corporate level right. And as such, and that happens. And that's always a danger when you do big projects like that, is that not everybody's going to have the passion and love that you have for a project. And that ultimately affects how it's received. But I really like the game. I do. I'm more of a PlayStation person. I may give Cyberpunk a try. I hear the PSI for some people will have more features and tattoos. Yeah, they're really focusing more on the next gen stuff now, and they're really doing updates for the next gen stuff. I'm not there on the next gen stuff. My budget hasn't allowed it. So there's a whole thing for that. But yeah, I recommend. I'm more Xbox. I've always been more Xbox, but I tend to have both. Like I have a PlayStation 4, and an Xbox One, I think. But and then throughout history, like if I've been able to, I get both stations, and then of course computer PC life, right? But I'm more comfortable playing on console. I just like the console grip better. It's more comfortable for my hands, but yeah, it's I know they're focusing more on the next gen stuff to make it better. 15 years, I had no idea so much went into Cyberpunk and what a team. Yeah, I think you can still find it on CD Red's YouTube channel. You can go back to their initial their initial like announcement, which was one of those announcements where they didn't really they just announced, and it was like at E3 or something, and they just had the title. You know, it was just the Cyberpunk title in the design that they have it, and it just kind of like, you know, all that glitchy kind of matrixy stuff. You know, it's all doing that little glitchy stuff, and then it comes on and it's boom, it's Cyberpunk, and they announced that, and that was yeah, I don't even remember, like, yeah, that was a really long time ago. It was like 15 years. I might be off. It might be 13. But I think it's now 15 years. But when the game came out, I think it was maybe 13 years since the very initial announcement that they had gotten the rights and that they were making the game. And to when the game actually came out was like 13 years later. And you know how many pushbacks and stuff like that. So you know, a lot of love went into it. They were disappointed with how it all went, and they've tried to make it right, but ultimately, yeah, it was just handled poorly. And I think it's the game industry these days in general. I think it helped because the game industry was doing that a lot up until Cyberpunk. They were announcing games, doing pre-orders, and the game wasn't even close to being done. And then they kept having to push it back a year. And so you have that. And I think with Cyberpunk, that showed because that game took a hit. Their bottom line took a hit for sure. And a lot of people got refunds. And I think that showed the gaming industry, especially the big AAA titles, like, hey, don't do that. Like, it's not going to work out well for you. So, like, maybe don't do that. And I think we've seen that they're being a bit more quiet about their projects now and kind of doing it. EA hasn't got the message. They've already announced Mass Effect 4 and Dragon Age 4. Dragon Age, they're actually much closer on in the development stage. They've had way more work done on that, but it's been years, obviously. And they've been working on it from almost day one. Since Dragon Age Inquisition came out, they've been working, on this idea to get Dragon Age 4 done. And so announcing Dragon Age 4 is a little bit better, but you're still talking. It's not going to come out like in the year. And Mass Effect 4, I wouldn't count on that coming out for another 5 years, maybe 3 to 5 years. EA is pretty big, so they can push things, but announcing these games early is silly in my opinion. Me too. I have both systems, PS4 and Xbox One. Was a gift from my Florida friends. Sweet. And a Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta whatever the games are and whatever allows you to play. I ended up getting a PlayStation just because I wanted to play the Final Fantasy remake. Final Fantasy VII remake was really on my top list of games to play, and I enjoyed it for the most part, but it didn't capture me to continue playing it. So I played it, had fun with it, and then basically my PS4 started just being a dust collector. So yeah, all right. Any more cards that anybody wants pulled? We still have activity, guidance, affirmation, and inspiration. Any cards anybody wants pulled? Any more questions? Any more comments? Any more concerns? Any more topics that you would like to talk about? We are over the hour mark. That's usually when I start getting antsy about getting out of here. But I'm always happy to take us however long. If we got conversations, if people have questions, if we have topics, then time doesn't matter. Time's a construct anyways. Well, we'll be fine. So any questions, comments, concerns, points of views, things you want to talk about? Cards you want pulled? Your choices: affirmation, inspiration, activity, guidance. I'm excited for Final Fantasy Crisis Core Remastered for this year. Yeah, I remember Crisis Core. It was a good one. It was a good one. I'm excited for. I don't know if I'm excited for any games that I haven't been. I honestly haven't been paying attention really. As I said, I've been trying to work on some certain projects, and that's kind of dominated my time. I've been very boring in conversations lately because my mind gets singular focused, and I've been solely focused on a project, and it's why I really want it. Like I start getting impatient because I want it done, one way or the other, right? Like I want it done so I can reclaim some of that focus back. An activity card, please. You got it. An activity card. You got it. Activity for the week. All right, so whoa. Sit back, relax, think about your coming week. Close your eyes. Feel the force around you. And just think about what activity you need for activity for Melbo for the week. Okay. It's an interesting picture for this card. All right. But I definitely support this. I love this. I love this activity. Eat something new. What seems different or unusual to you right now might end up being your new favorite flavor. And we got Job over here stuffing a creature. You see a little foot still in it, out of his mouth, like just stuffing a creature down there. But yeah, eat something new. I'm definitely. I love these. I love this one. We like try a new restaurant. I would also throw that out there. Like if you can, like if you're in the position to, try a new restaurant. Maybe try a new cuisine. Peruvian food, right, is one that came up last night in conversations with me and my friends. There's a Peruvian restaurant. There was also dumpling. Can't remember if it was Korean dumplings or what. But a new a restaurant that does Korean dumplings or dumplings. I don't know which culture, but so try something new. Eat something new. What seems different or unusual to you right now might end up being your favorite flavor. I don't recommend this eating habit right here of Jabba's. I find that kind of like against etiquette. Maybe that's just me. I am definitely against just kind of style of eating where you still have stuff like hanging out and you're like that kind of like messy eating is tough for me. I have that thing with you. If you hear someone eating, you have to really get their Jedi mind going, but yeah, eat something new. So yeah, hey, this is your Jedi homework, right? This is your philosophical, this is your spiritual, cultural homework for the week. All of you, go try something new. Go try a new flavor. Go try a new cuisine. Go try something new. Go try a new flavor. Go try something maybe you haven't had curry before. If know your level of spice though with the curry, so you know what to ask for. Because if you're like me, you got to go mild. Otherwise, you are not going to have a fun experience, right? So know your know your limits. Know yourself. Know your limits. But try out a new restaurant. It could be a cuisine maybe that you've had before, like say Mexican food, right? But there's like we went to not long ago, we discovered a new Mexican restaurant in our area, and we went there and technically new flavors, definitely new flavors. They had like delicious margaritas, and their food is really good. It's basic, right? It's nothing like fancy or out of this world, but it's really good. It's well made. It's very tasty. And it's new flavors. Technically, you get to try new flavors and things. So, 100%. Sometimes you order guacamole and it's too spicy for you. New flavors. So go out there, try it. Try something new. Eat something new. Eat something new. Maybe you've never had s'mores before, and I don't know why you wouldn't have s'mores, but you need to. You need to do that for yourself. Unless you're somehow allergic to any of those ingredients, then obviously don't do it. But, again, know yourself, know your limitations. A man has got to know his limitations, to quote Dirty Harry. So, absolutely. Try something new. Do that. That should be everybody's activity for the week. Try a new flavor. Get out there. Do something fun. Those 4 answers, yeah. For Java, just I want stuff. Say less. My taco is named Java. That's awesome. But yeah, it's a great card. I'm all for new flavors. I might have to make it myself. Hey, that's also another, again, think outside the box. Think of ways that you can accomplish it that maybe they didn't even think of it. I think I've tried all the different restaurants in my very small area. That's fair. But yeah, that's always fun too. I love doing that. One of the things that you can do is, look up a recipe online, get creative with it. Again, knowing yourself, what you may like, right? And then going to the store with that ingredient list, looking up, all right, what do I need? Going to the store for that night, grabbing the ingredients for that dish specifically, coming home, getting into doing the preparation and things like that. We have a food service. One of those things that delivers, and that allows us to try new flavors all the time. That allows us to try new things and make the dinner and do the preparation and stuff, because it just sends you the ingredients and the recipe. And then we play around with it. We don't follow that thing. Like a Bible or anything. We consider it very loose suggestions on the type of spice that they use and the type of ingredients that they use. And then we end up. So I feel most of the time when we do that, we create something better than the original dish, or at least something that speaks to us more. So absolutely, grabbing a recipe and just coming home with that. And one. Hey, part of the activity, if you can, make it a date night or something. Share that. Get up in the kitchen with someone. Try something new. Do that with the family or things like that. Whatever it is. Hey, if it's just you and your dog, you and 3 parakeets, it doesn't matter, right? Go there, have fun, put on some music, cook it up, have some fun with it. Really, really enjoy it. And then, hey, next week you can tell us what you had and how it was and stuff like that. So. Absolutely, fully support it. Try something new, everyone. Have you had? I don't even know how to say that. My brain cannot register it. So maybe I've had a lot of different things in a lot of different places. So maybe I'm always eating something new and tested my stomach's limits. Yeah, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's not so much of a good thing. I've definitely, when I was way back, when I was in my 20s and I lived in Montana, basically the people I lived with in the apartment, we all kind of lived in the same apartment building. We were all friends. We all hung out. I had a reputation of having an iron gut, of an iron stomach, because of the stuff that I would eat. And they were like, that's not going to go well for you. And then, of course, I was fine. I never had any issues. And yeah, but definitely, try new things. Have fun with it. I've been doing that myself. I'm definitely not a person that does spice well, like hot, spicy things. But I've been pushing to see exactly where my limit is. I went to, I think not last year, but the year before that, I went to Cabo San Lucas in Mexico and tried some of the salsas and sauces that normally I wouldn't try, because I'm like, ooh, that's not going to go well for me. But I tried those flavors and I tried pushing to see how far I could get away with it. What was my reaction? And there was a few times where my friends were worried about me because I was red and they're just sweat just dripping off of me, just coming down, kind of like that Key and Peele gif where the water's just dripping down. So sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't work out, but you should always try new things and learn your limits and things of that. I think that's definitely a part of the Jedi lifestyle, of really just being alive, just being human experience, really. But it's definitely something I incorporate into the Jedi, Zoism, and vampire lifestyles that I'm a part of. Is to I incorporate that ideology, that philosophy of try new things. Understand yourself. It's all part of self knowledge, right? So definitely do that. Great ideas for sure. I'll let you know next Sunday what I come up with. Absolutely. I'm not sure if we'll be here next Sunday. I'm gonna try to be, but next Sunday is still Comic-Con. I think I'm skipping Sunday though. We ended up getting tickets to go to Comic-Con. We're gonna go down there, but it gets super peoply and it's a super big event, obviously. And that many people, I'm not really comfortable. Almost all my friends who've been vaccinated and stayed safe, almost every time I meet friends, they talk about how they got COVID recently. And these are people that stay safe. So like places like now, like Comic-Con are starting to kind of like, I'm like, because regardless of any health issues or anything, I just don't want to get sick. I don't like being sick, period. I don't like the sniffles. I don't like the flu. I don't like allergy season. So the idea of getting, the flu or anything, COVID, any of that, like, I don't care how mild it is. I don't want it, man. Like, I don't want to get sick at all. So like, I worry about that, but I'm going to be going in my Deadpool outfit. So, that's got the full mask. I'm wearing the full mask. That's actually, it's got hard. It's kind of a hard mask. So definitely nothing getting in or out from that. Plus the fabric on the outside because it's the Deadpool mask, right? But I think I'll be back by Sunday. I just don't know how burnt out I'll be. And so we'll try to be here Sunday, same bat time, same bat channel. I try to keep it around 10:30. 10:30, 11-ish. Sometimes I'm a little early, but like I try to be around 10:30 on Sundays is the time I'm trying to keep to for these weekly things. That's where I'm trying to sit at. So gonna be at Comic-Con. Should be back by Sunday. Because I don't see me. There's no reason for me to stay the entire time too. I do have a ticket for all the days, including the Wednesday preview night, but like I'm not sure. I don't think I'll stay that long. So, but I'll let you know. So check in. If anything, again, hit that little bell so it tells you when I go live. Mostly these days, I'm just eating healthy organic foods. That's the way to do it. My parents and my two sisters, that's the way to do it. I did the same thing with the food service that I originally started on. I originally started on, I think, Purple Carrot or something. They allowed you. And I actually went vegan for a while. Organic vegan is what I was getting. And I did that for a while because, again, it's the food prep. They send you the dinner, they send you the ingredients and the recipe, and then you just make it. And so I went vegan for a while because I was looking to eat healthier and eat better and stuff like that. And I wanted to see, how I felt and if I could go that route, I can't. I am horrible. I live in Southern California, so like best believe that like I'm stopping in at In-N-Out and stuff like that. So yeah. Comic-Con, maybe a vlog, and no worries. Appreciate whenever you pop in. Yeah, maybe. I'm so horrible at that, right? Like I'm one of those people who I'm always like, hey, I'll film this. And then I get there and I'm all about like I'm in the experience, I'm in the moment, and I forget to take pictures, I forget to film things, I forget to like bring it along. I really need someone who's like they're about that life. Like I need a secretary or something. I need someone who's about that life. I need a social media manager that's gonna do that kind of stuff because I'm horrible at it. But yeah, if nothing else, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm like a social media person. I'm plugging Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can follow me there, and that's where, or Facebook, either or, and it's pretty easy to find me, Opie McLeod. I'm pretty sure I'm still the only Opie McLeod on either of those. So pretty easy to find me. Look for the Mandalorian helmet. And I'll post stories and stuff there if I don't have something here. If I don't do a live or something like that, maybe I'll try on my cell phone, try to do a live or something like that from Comic-Con. But but I'll definitely probably do my best to take pictures, to try to take some video, because Comic-Con's a pretty big event, and it's nearly impossible to get tickets, especially for just every average day people, and they're stupid expensive now. I remember back in like the early 90s, Comic-Con tickets were like $38, man, to get in. So, and that was like for the entire weekend, and there was nowhere near 100,000 people there. Get out of here. Back then you're talking tens of thousands for sure, but in the early 90s, man, it was nothing like this. It was nothing what it is now. So I'll definitely do my best. But if nothing else, it'll probably be up on my Instagram or Facebook page. So I just link, because those two things are linked. So when I post on, because I mainly stay on Instagram these days, and obviously YouTube. So when I post on Instagram, it automatically connects to my Facebook page. So you'll catch it there too. Oops. If you go in cosplay, maybe something with a mask. Yeah, I'm going in Deadpool, full mask, hard mask, everything. So yeah, it's definitely one of the reasons I chose that costume. I have two different Deadpool masks. One that actually has like a movable, like the mask moves as you talk. But that means all of this is just the Deadpool fabric mask. And I could wear a mask underneath it, but that's just like too much, right? So might as well just wear the Deadpool mask thing. There you go, Deadpool. Nice and protected. Absolutely. Yeah. And bravado, so and things of that nature. Paparazzi, someone just following you around while you do things. Absolutely. I think that's the best way to go and document. It's the only way it's going to work. It's the only way it's going to work. I miss out on a lot because I'm not on social media, so I catch glimpses here and there. I also follow on Twitch whenever you're ready to pop up and go over there. I keep looking at it. As like I said, I have some things in the works, and if they pan out, like, and that's a big if. But if they pan out, I think my time will free up exponentially more. Not at first, like, how big projects go. At first you're buried, but once it's done, I think I'll have more like free time in essence to do more creative projects and things. So I'll be able to I'll have the resources and time, the means to do stuff like that. And like I'll probably do I'll do the Star Wars streaming over there, and then for gaming, and then I don't know. We'll see how that goes. And if that works better, then I'll just take these lives over to Twitch. If that works better for people, you're definitely not missing out on much. Also, I have the community tab here, so I just have to remember. I don't always use the community tab here, but added you on both. You inspire. Hey, thank you very much, Rowan. I appreciate that, man. But it's a good way, and I'll try to use the community tab here to show some pictures and stuff like that. If nothing else, like maybe to update if I'll be here on Sunday, I'll share a picture of that, and or share some pictures or video or something. I know you can do shorts here now too. Like everybody's jumping on the TikTok bandwagon. Instagram, YouTube, you can do little short TikTok videos here. So maybe we can do that. I'll try to keep that in mind. I'll do the best I can to keep that stuff in mind, and keep everybody updated with it. As I said, I often, especially if you're in cosplay, like with the Deadpool gloves, it's hard to work a phone and stuff. But like I'll do my best to try to keep it in mind. And as I said, I'm really bad at it. I get in the moment, and I focus in on the moment. And some of that has to do with social anxiety, like it gets a little too crazy. But it's a good way to experience it though through a phone. Is also that can help with social anxiety, by the way. Sometimes taking out your phone and like looking at things through that, through the camera, can help you like refocus your mind and kind of readjust and adjust your focus and things like that. So that can help. It doesn't help for everybody, and it doesn't help all the time, but like that's a way that sometimes it can help and figure out what you're doing and give yourself time to process things and things of that nature. But I will definitely look to do that. I'll look to use the community tab here with that. And then again, Facebook and Insta, and yeah, like I try to put things, in relation to this comment, I try to put on quotes, Star Wars quotes, and share that stuff like that. But also, mainly those are my personal accounts, so be warned, it is just me out doing stuff. So yeah, the community tab is great. That's how I catch up on people here on YouTube. Yeah, I miss out hella things in general, but I feel happier here than on social. 100%. Culture here is way better than it tends to be on other sites and other social media platforms. You have to put up with all this other stuff thrown in your face, comment sections and things like that. It's really hard to curate. It's very important in the Jedi lifestyle, again, any lifestyle, but it's always important to curate your social media experience as best as possible, and choosing a platform that really works for you and allows you to focus. Again, focus is important, and not everybody has time for all of that and to keep up with everything. It's ridiculous. So absolutely, I'll look to use the community tab more. I really don't, just because I keep things more. I guess I keep them more professional here or something. I don't really share my personal life, but I'll definitely look to use it more, especially when I make the quotes like that I put on Instagram every once in a while, like Jedi quotes. I share Jedi quotes and stuff. I can do that here on the community tab, and just little things, and we can keep it going and keep the culture and keep the audience here going, and let people know, yeah, we're still around, we're still doing things, and to catch up on our, we can do the cards, we can do the activities, and the guidance, and the inspiration, and the affirmations. We can, and then we'll do these and keep this going, because this seems to be fun. This seems to be good. I wasn't sure how this was going to go at first, but this seems to be working, and this seems to be good. So we'll definitely continue this and continue doing these things. Oh, but yeah, here's the. Oh, making a mess. This is the half. This is the half mask of Deadpool. You can kind of see, but like it allows, like, because you have this part, like you can, like, it adjusts, right? But it's just this cloth right here. But that's one of my masks. The mask I'm gonna wear is full. Is this whatever this? I forget what this is made out of, but it's this hard material right here, and that's the full mask, so it'll be good. So it'll be good. All right. Absolutely. Do your own thing on your platforms, and of course, if you have time, throw a bone over here now and then. Yeah, I'll definitely do my best. I forget about it a lot. Like, all the social media stuff is, like, if I didn't do any of this, and if I didn't have, like, the book and stuff like that, I would probably wouldn't be on social media at all. It's not my thing. It's not my bag. I'm much happier without it, like when you're just focused on life and you're just focused on living your own life and your own experiences and your own philosophies and stuff. But it's nice to be able to connect again with people and share a much broader community and talk to people across the world and things of that nature. It makes a difference, and it's important to know that you're not alone out there, regardless of like whatever. It's always nice to know that there's other people out there and things that you can share and talk to and have that communication with and have that connection with. Because especially if we live, our worlds is much bigger than where we're at. And so it's important to have that social structure, and that social structure absolutely can be digital. Like, digital is not any more real or fake than in-person stuff. Right. So it's important to have that, and it's important to do those things. So absolutely. So yeah, and I'll try to include more. I kind of leave YouTube out of it, but I'd like to. Nice Deadpool mask, dude. Thanks. So I've been doing some cleaning, but this is the one I'll be wearing. So, like, as you could tell, it's like, it's all over. But yeah, this is the one that'll be rocking at Comic-Con for fun, So Wow. You'll be roasting in that mask. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. I will. I will definitely be cooking the whole suit. The whole suit, because it's that heavy. It's the same kind of material. This like, I don't know how, like, if you can, but it's like it's like a canvas material. It's a more heavy duty like suit, so it's gonna be cooking. uh Good thing it's San Diego. San Diego tends to be pretty temperate, but it's end of July San Diego, which means it's probably gonna be humid down there too. But yeah, it's gonna be hot. Water breaks, air breaks, they're gonna be necessary. They're gonna be necessary. Fortunately, I'm going down with my partner, and they're going down as Star Lord, but they're going down as Star Lord for the reason that it's easier to maneuver, and it's easier to it's less of a like costume, so they can kind of be handler, and they can kind of they can have like do the reminders and do the checks and things of that nature, and their hands will be way more free than Deadpool gloves. So their hands will be free and stuff like that. So yeah, and then I might go as Mr. Knight. I don't have a full mask for it. I have just a cover for it. It's just the white thing. It's not like a fancy mask or anything. So I might do a low rent Mr. Knight cosplay as well. So yeah. The mask is great. Material looks sturdy. It is. It's really well made. It was actually made by a guy out in Spain, and he makes all kinds of like cosplay masks and stuff. Definitely beyond my capabilities, and but he makes really really good stuff, and really sturdy, really well made. Absolutely, really happy with it. San Diego, I recommend sunscreen. I am going the route of Deadpool and Mr. Knight because head to toe covered. The sun will not touch my skin if I can help it. So that is the goal. I am looking not to. I'm looking for me and the sun never to meet personally. That's. But again, I grew up out here in Southern California, so I mean, I only have two skin colors. I have white and I have red. I turn lobster life super easy. It's ridiculous. And yeah, so sunscreen, or I just hide. I do my best. Like growing up in Southern California, so I've worn suits like my entire life, right? Because like, and people are like, "Aren't you hot?" And I'm like, I've been doing this since I was like 14. Because suits, keep me covered and keep the sun off me and keep keep the things away. Like I'm trying to avoid it. Don't forget your electrolytes. Yeah, we're probably gonna buy like we're actually we're actually probably gonna buy like quite a bit of the electrolyte drink. I like it. That's the strawberry kiwi one. Is the one I like, but yeah, we're probably, I'm going to have like that in the bag and stuff. We're going to have a bag with us as we walk the floor and we're at the convention and stuff. And then we have a hotel room down there. It's not in San Diego per se, but it's not far. It's close, I think like a 30-minute drive or something like that. So we'll have the ability to like head back to the room and things of that nature and stay, if we need a break or something. We're doing our best to minimize the stuff, minimize the potential of having a bad experience. Started Opie as Ryan Reynolds' new stunt double. Yeah, I mean that would be fun. That would be absolutely. I'll take that. Yeah, it'll be great. I love jumping out of windows. I actually wanted to do like stunt double work when I was way younger. Like it just looked like fun. They just look like they have a lot of fun. So yeah, it's definitely good stuff. I wear sunscreen indoors. I live in the sunniest place in the world. Well, that sounds ridiculously odd. Out here, it's lava sun, right? So like if you're in the shade where I live, it's like 10 degrees cooler or whatever. But if you step out and the sun hits you directly, like you feel it. Like it's like 100 times more hotter. Like it cooks. It cooks. So yeah, I try to do my best to like hide in the shade and keep away. But yeah, what I didn't show, because you missed out, right? Because you're not on there. On my Instagram, I just recently posted a story that's I got my workout equipment. I moved it from indoors to outdoors, and I set up my workout equipment outdoors so I'm taking full advantage of the hot, sunny California days, and I'm working out out there. Uh, and it's how I time my workouts. So I make sure, because I know, like, I can't go long on my workouts, because if I do, I'll burn. Right? It doesn't matter what I'm wearing. SPF 100 doesn't matter. So my workouts are very specifically. I have a very specific time limit, because it won't go well for me. So, so yeah. All right, so I think that's where we're at, and I think that's what we're doing. I think we're good, unless anybody has any last minute questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that. Yeah, I think we might end up calling it. We've been here for an hour and 45 minutes. Some of you need to go do your chores. What are you doing? Some of you need to go do your chores. So yeah, unless anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, card pull, we might end up calling it and leaving it at that. And again, I'll do my best to update you next weekend before Sunday. Update you before Sunday on where we're at, and if I'm in the space to host this next Sunday. Again, it would be Sunday. I'm trying to keep around Sundays. 10:30 to 11 are the times, like in that time frame is where I'm trying to be. Sounds like your workout gear will catch fire. Good luck with that, man. Yeah, it's definitely fun. I always come in dripping sweat, whether that's from the workout or just working out in Southern California, weather, debatable. Could be both, or it could just be one. But yeah, it's fun. It's a. I feel like I'm burning more calories that way. I feel like it's doing more for me because I'm cooking myself in an oven as I'm working out. But definitely have to stay hydrated. Have to get your electrolytes. Have to do that. So, it's always fun stuff. It's always good times. But yeah. All right. I'm going to head out then. Seems like we're good, I think. I don't think we have any more questions. Waiting just a little bit to see if the chat pops off. But here we go. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the con. Thank you very much. Hope you and your partner have a great time. Appreciate it. Deadpool and Star-Lord. Eat some new things, right? Definitely we're San Diego Comic-Con. There's definitely going to be new things to try. I'm sure there's going to be. I'm going to look out for some food trucks. Because I know they always got some crazy food trucks down there. So I'll definitely be looking for some things. And if I remember, hopefully I'll remember that if we try a food truck, I'll post it. I'll post it. I'll be like, hey, trying something new to relate back to this chat. And you're right. I have dishes calling my name. Yeah, you got dishes, man. Go handle it. But thank you very much. Appreciate you. And I'll definitely check in with you all. And hopefully I can remember to stay a bit more social, especially on the YouTube side of things. Use that community tab a bit more, and share what we're doing down there and having fun. May the force be with you, Journey. Always a pleasure. Thank you for dropping by. Everybody who's been here, everybody who's dropped in, even if you watch this later on, or you popped in and out at random times, whatever. If you participated in the chat, especially, I appreciate everybody who's participated in the chat, even just, saying hi and stuff like that. Oh, food trucks. If you find any good ones, write them down for me. There's a few. I'm a fan. But yeah, if we find some, we'll see what we get. But yeah, I like exploring food in that way. But yeah, I'll do my best to share it. Hope to see you again. Enjoy Comic-Con. Hopefully we'll be here. If not next week, definitely the week after that. So hopefully you guys can make it. Hopefully you can be here and join the chat and stuff like that. It's always fun. It's always good when you all join in. Makes it obviously better. So hopefully. So all right, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your week. Remember, you are limitless. Go fight yourself, inner demons. Have patience. Tackle your tasks one step at a time. Do all that. Try something new and race. Do a race of some kind. Figure out that who can eat ice cream the fastest, or don't. Figure that out. All right, everybody. Have a good one. May the force be with you, and I will catch you hopefully next week.